Good afternoon, everybody. Right, tag, can't remember. Hang on. Sorry, 52 tags handmade. Oh, week 18. Sorry, let me just get my... I keep saying it, but I really will do a proper... Organised by Ambrook. You probably know what it is. So yeah, that was 7. Yeah, so tag 18. A lot to do. I've done a bit of a jump start. Otherwise it would have just taken forever, guys. So yeah, anyway, we've been asked to do some English paper piecing with small hexies. Stitch it together. Sorry, look at the state of my handwriting. Stitch it together, then borrow stitch it down, making a mini quilt technically, basically. I didn't write that on there actually, didn't we? So that's week 18. I've done the back already because that just speeds everything up, doesn't it? Yeah, so I've sort of put English paper piece, mini hexagons, and borrow stitch the background to quilt. Except I forgot to put the L in quilt. It's good here, isn't it? Right, okay, so let me give you a heads up. Yeah, I have started already because, you know, it would have just taken forever. Let me show you a bit close up. So I'm just doing my last hexie. I've done it the folded circle method. Now, we did that back... When did we do that? That's back away, wasn't it? That one. Only we had them face up that time. So it's exactly the same thing. I'm going to show you, don't worry. Exactly the same thing, but you do them face... Yeah, you have the back up, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's that. And then I've used my tag die, Sizzix tag die, to cut a piece of the thinnest batting that I had actually. And then I've got this piece of vintage stuff in the background, fabric in the background. So yeah, I'm going to do one more, and it is going to go up here off of this one, and then I'll do the borrow stitch it. Well, I say borrow, I think that's what it's called. That's what I call it. But it's just in out, in out, in out, weaving all the way. And I've just remembered I need to get my Sashiko needle. Where are you? Looks like I put that somewhere safe, doesn't it? Oh, should have checked that before I started filming. I could use one of my long milliners. Excuse me. I might use that one actually. Oh, where's that gone? Oh, annoying. See, make yourself a nice needlebook. You still don't put your blinking needles in it, do you, silly girl? Right, let me just go in. Behave. Thank you. Put it anywhere else, have I? Nope. Oh, actually, got my whole tub there. Right. Sorry. Oh dear, we've just got back from the car boot. It was well, I did get some nice fabrics actually, but I've had to stick them straight into the washing machine because they were very, very musty, and that stuff makes me sneeze. You know, that smell makes me sneeze like Billy-O. So I've just got over that last histamine attack, and I don't want another one induced by dust. So yeah, I stuck them straight in the machine. I will show you. That's a good long one. Look at the size of that. That's a big boy. Right. Now, I picked these up at the West Point show. They weren't expensive either. I think it was all before it became a bit trendy. So I dipped in there. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Last hexie. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's just... It's such an eye-opener. It's such an easy way. I was going to do it like Anne did with paper and everything, but I saw her struggling to get her papers out, and I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do it this way. And I've also got something else to show you in a minute, but let's do this first. Right. Now, I found another easy way to do this. I've got this Bowen. It's a fabric glue pen. Well, it's kind of like a Pritt stick for fabric. It's great. I love it. I use it for all sorts of things. So I just put a little dob on there. So what you must do, sorry, if you've never done this, fold your circle into quarters so that you can see the centre there. I've got really bad light today. I'm really sorry. I've got the ring light on, but it's really bad. And where your centre line is here, fold that up to, she says, the middle there. Try and get it as even as possible, because it will make a difference. And then it's just a case of, with this magic glue pen, which doesn't mark the fabric, and it's such a nice pen. Well, I'm so impressed with it. I've actually bought all the refills for it now. And then this corner here, if it behaves itself, you just push that into the center as well. If you've done this before, I'm not going to give you a step-by-step because we have done this loads of times. Well, once before. It was an eye-opener to me when I first saw it, I must admit. And it saves you having to pin the middle. Sorry, pin. We were doing a stitch in the middle because that just holds it in place for you whilst you're sewing. But using this glue thing, you don't even have to do that. And it holds it beautifully, but you just must get those points as accurate as possible. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with our car boot. I've been very disappointed the last 2 Sundays I've gone, and I say today picked up some amazing fabrics, some vintage bits and stuff, and you know, I said to her, how much? She went, £6 for the lot. I nearly ran away. I was like, yes, thank you. Give me, give me, give me. And it was a big bundle as well. But as I say, I will show you, but it's currently having a debug because it was very, very musty. So yeah, so you just do that, flip it over, and then you've got a bit of a wonky hexagon actually, but look at that one. Hold on, let me just try that again. The idea is that your edges are meant to be somewhat even. Oh, close enough for what we're doing. Let me just show you this actually. There's a lady on YouTube, Emma Brown. Oh, I didn't get it, did I? Vintage Sewing Box, I think she's called, but it's Emma Brown Vintage Sewing Box, I'm pretty sure. And she does these little, she gives you these patterns, and I was going to do it this way, but what we, hang on, right, how do I explain this? Watch Emma. But I've got a little I've got a tiny die, hexagon die, and I've been cutting the hexagon. I don't know if you can see in the background, that's not paper. Okay, I've been using that pelmet violin, and basically all you do is cover that pelmet violin with fabric. It makes such quick hexies, it's unbelievable. These are little diddy ones. And then what Emma does is you couch the excuse me, you catch the edges down. You can do embroidery in the middle if you want to, and that kind of thing. And that's why when I was doing my other video, I said I'm not phased by this at all, because I've been making loads of these. I've got a bit addicted actually. So yeah, check out Emma Brown Vintage Sewing Box. I'm sure that's what she's called. I say YouTube, and she's very active on Instagram, and you might well follow her already. So anyway, I've pinned those down. I haven't stitched it yet. I thought we'd do the stitching together. Why not? It's going to be as boring as heck for you guys, but yeah. So I'm just going to stitch this last one. I know if you do go over to watch Emma, she has this really thin thread, and I must get some because cotton is, it's a little bit bulky, believe it or not. You just literally just got to catch those edges very, very tiny. I can't remember what that thread's called. I say go check her out. She does some lovely stuff, and on her website is that little pattern I just showed you there is free, and also let me show you the other ones. She does these butterflies as well. Again, same theory, same, you know, same idea. Whoops, upside down. Yeah, so they're cool. I enjoyed doing those. I don't know what they'll be, but there'll be something at some point, I've no doubt. Again, it's a freebie on her website, so vintage sewing box. I'm sure that's what she's called. But just put in the search bar on YouTube, Emma Brown, it should pop up with her. So, just very carefully trying to catch anything more than a couple of strands, and it's really showing on the front. It is a bit dodgy, this sewing. I'll show you up close in a second. Shouldn't have pinned that down. I can't. Hang on. Let me take that one out. Right, that's better. So anyway, I hope everybody's well. It's a bank holiday here in the UK, which means nothing much happens. It did rain briefly today, but it hasn't been the downpour. Apparently tomorrow's going to be the day. So that'll be something to look forward to, won't it? Car boot is on again tomorrow, but I don't think we'll be going if it's raining, because it's right on the top of Exeter Racecourse, which is right on the top of a hill. So there's absolutely no shelter whatsoever. Right, okay, let's just take that to the back. Might as well use this thread to couch it down. I'm not going to do a brilliant job. Well, I say couch it, it's just catching the it's just sort of holding it down, because we're going to do a load of stitching over the top, so I'm not going to go mad. So anyway, I suppose I should use pink thread. Oh, the fabric, the pink fabric is a Liberty fabric, and it is called, what are you called? Lucy Lord. And that was the, as you can see, I just cut loads of circles out. And yeah, it's really nice actually. It's lovely and thin, so it's very workable for this kind of thing. You don't want to use thick fabrics if you're using the circle method to make hexies. So I'll just scoot around here as quick as possible. If it goes on a bit, I'll come in too far there. Just bury that in there. Just a tiny couple of threads, that's all I'm trying to catch. Why am I doing that? It should be under there. I'm wondering what thread to do the borrow stitching with. Do I need to use something quite chunky? Oh, my Steph Francis silk, I don't know. I could use that pink one that I used last week actually. Start getting that used up. I've got reels of the blooming stuff. I hope to do it as a giveaway really, because I'll never use it all. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. If you're into stitching, let me know if you'd be interested in a couple of reels of that silky thread, because Lord only knows I've got enough to share. And there's so much on those reels. Let me show you actually. Sorry, this is completely going off topic. Where are you? Oh, you're not in there, are you? Oh no, I know where it is. Right, it's in this box. I still haven't made me box for my Steph Francis threads. Useless. Yeah, so I've got all these. So really, I think I can easily do a giveaway of that's the one I was using. Yeah, so those three really. Right, I'll leave those out and I'll remember to do it. It has got, because some numpty has put blooming sellotape on there, so the first few bits of it will be right. It's a good idea, that. Well done, Susan. Well done. Do a giveaway. Get rid of your stuff. Your poor subscribers can have it instead. Bless you. I'll do a random pick from comments, I suppose. I don't know. I'll think of something, don't worry. Actually, that's a good idea. Do you want, because you know, some of the stuff I've got, it's like I've got too much of it. I really have. Is that something that, you know, would you feel like offended if I sort of do giveaways like that? craft room clear out giveaways. Oh, you poor sausages. You are abused by me, aren't you? Come on. Yes, we've got dogs to walk tomorrow. I said to my daughter, do they not realise it's a bank holiday Monday? And she, yeah, but people are working. I was like, right. So I think we've got Frank, my dog twin, and I think we got Ollie. So she said, do you want to come? And I said, well, if it's chucking it down, no. A bit of a fair weather were. Actually, I'm not. I shouldn't say that. Because when I had my dogs, they just went out in all the weathers. I didn't care what the weather was like. You come on, out. Off you go. Get your coat on. She used to have the wet gear and my wellies on. It doesn't bother me. I think that's why my children are quite robust. They used to go out in all the weather. Such a cruel mother. Never mind. I'm sure they forgive me. I remember once, cracky, it was years ago when my youngest was a baby, and she's, oh gosh, she's 28 next Monday. Yeah, well, we were so hard up, me and their father. We couldn't afford 2 cars, and he had the car. I don't know why. Why did he have the car? I can't remember. Anyway, and I desperately needed shopping at Tesco's. Well, it's not far. It wasn't far from where I used to live, where the kids grew up. It was only probably 2 miles. So I said, right, okay. So I had the middle one, Annie, who was 3 at the time, and then Caroline was a baby, the youngest. And I had one of those push chairs that had like the big plastic tray underneath. So Annie, bless her, she used to love getting in that tray. I used to put a blanket in there and a cushion and that would be like a little sort of under, well, yeah, just like a underneath box. Well, I don't know, what would you call it? An underneath seat for her, that's the word. And she used to love that. So I piled them both in the pushchair. Luckily, I took the rain covers with me, and Annie walked for a bit, and then she was getting tired, and so she got in her little thing. And we got down there, no problem at all. Got the shopping, loaded up bags, and you know, squished her in a bit in the tray thing. And as we left Tesco's, the heavens literally opened, and I mean, it wasn't just, you know, pitter patter. It was a full on, you know. So by the time I got home, I mean, luckily, as I say, Annie got in underneath the rain cover. Luckily, I took them, and I got in, and I had a big, thick winter coat on, and I swear to you, I was just drenched. You know, it was beyond wet. So I just stood in the hallway as soon as I got back. Then Annie had fallen asleep in the pushchair underneath. Caroline had baby, she'd fallen asleep. So I just literally I ran up to the bathroom. I was dripping, literally dripping, and just took all my clothes off, had a hot shower, and you know, put on some dry clothes. I don't honestly think I've ever been so wet in all my life, and that was despite having waterproofs on as well. Oh my lord, it was so wet. And of course you get cold and all the rest of it, you know, with that. I didn't even bother with the shopping. I just ran upstairs and got changed. Oh dear, nightmare. But there you go. It's one of those things. You just do it, don't you? You just get on when you're a mum and you just don't even think about it. My poor kids. I used to take them to the car boots to sell stuff. And the one at the racecourse in Newton Abbot, it was an early morning one, not like the one at Exeter, it's in the afternoon, but the local one. Yeah, so I used to bundle them all in the car at 6 o'clock in the morning. Poor little souls. And the blankets, you know, under a duvet still, and used to have packed up a breakfast for them to eat when we got there, sort of. Oh, it was so funny. And they'd wake up about 9 o'clock, you know, and it'd be like, where are we? Don't worry, we're at the car boot. It's all right. Oh, gosh, the things we did. The things we did. But like I say, they look back and they've also told me they had a really happy childhood. So that, you know, that is it, isn't it? They didn't have a lot because we were so broke most of the time. Yeah, they didn't have a lot, bless them. Not toys and stuff, but it's not what kids need. They just need love. They need love and knowing that they were wanted. It's one of my biggest battles in the job I do. They have, you know, they have these children and then they just don't want to raise them. I don't understand it. What's the point in having them? Anyway, that's enough of that malarkey. Right, where did I start? Over there. Am I staying in front? Yeah, I am. Good. I do talk a load of old waffle, don't I? Right. So that will do for couching them down. So they're nice and secure on there. Not couching. I don't know. I can't remember what you call it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, do I risk it with that silk thread? I don't think I will. I think I'll use. I want it to show up. I think I'll use my perlé cottons and things. Needlework. Where's my bin? There. I need something with a fairly big eye. Are you sharp? You're not too bad. Oh no, I was going to use me. Use your sashiko, Susie. You got it sat there. I just put those pins away. I love these little pins. I know I've told you that before, but I do love them. They're so cute. Right, I'm going to throw that away because even if you remove those labels, the fabric underneath is super sticky. It's not in enough whole circles that I could use it as a. Yeah, no, it's going. I've got to stop because you know. Right. Let's have a look. Whoa. Now then, what colour? So I really fancy using one of these. Got no space here. Okay. That purple would look good. No, I think I want to. Maybe I'll just do. What will I do? Got a nice pale lilac there. That'll look nice. I haven't got any pink. Got a grey. Well, greeny grey. What do you think those two? You have a look in the screen. It sometimes looks different on the camera. Definitely the lilac. And that's quite nice because that matches those flowers. It's quite thin. I don't know. I've no idea what that is. That's another one that came in that great big suitcase. It was massive, that suitcase. When I turned up to pick it up, so I saw it was on Facebook, I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to try those two. The pink might be a bit insipid, but that might do. It might look alright because I'm not really. I don't think I want to use my Steph Francis because that was pink and stuff. Blue rather than. Well, no, I'm doing those. I'll start with the pink and let's see how that looks. Let's have a look, shall we? Because when it's on, it might look really nice. I've got glue all over my fingers there. This is why I'm not able to thread needles today. Right. It's kind of a perle, this stuff. I don't know what it is actually. It's nice. It is nice though. Right. I think I'm going to use that as a sort of a cut-off point. Although, will I? I could stitch right up, couldn't I? Thinking. No, I'm going to start here. Do I want to start that? I'll start it a bit more. This needle might be a bit too big. Let's try it starting there. Okay. Well, that's thick. Come on, thimble. How'd you come? I bought this weird thing. I don't know if it's going to work actually. Stick it on that finger. They're not very sharp, these needles, are they? Or maybe it's because I'm going through so many layers. Gone wonky already. That's not very good. It should be easy through just the fabric. Yeah, she said to put quilting stuff on the back and give it that sort of mini quilt look. Of course I've got a knot. This thing is Prim, the same, you know, the big sort of embroidery people. I can't remember what it was called, but it looks like that, and it's just great for. I can't always use a thimble. I've got my lovely silicone one, which I do like, but I get a really hot finger. That sounds weird, I know, but yeah, this thing just saves my skin a bit. I like the pink. That's staying. So what I might do is do pink here, and then maybe sort of meld it into the lilac-y, purpley colour. Right. Just trying to line it up-ish, because I think it's going to be quite a hard round, this one, because I've got to go through 2 lots of hexagons. I'm not going to line them up. I'm not doing sashiko. This is borrow stitching, which is sort of Japanese, no, Chinese? No, anyway, a mending stitch, basically. Kind of like a darning stitch, I guess you could say. Looks like our show might be on in Exeter in September. They've been certified COVID safe, whatever that means. Yeah, so that'd be great. This one won't be the one that Steph Francis goes to because it's run by a company called ICHF, which do all the big shows. They do the big one in Birmingham if you've ever been in this country. If you're not in this country, yeah, they organise the big one in Birmingham, and they do a slightly smaller one in Exeter. And I know Steph has said before it's just too expensive for her. So, and a tutor that I try and do the odd workshop with, Jan Tillett, she says the same. She has a tiny stall at the big one, the ICHF one, and then at the more local one, which is run by, I can't remember what they're called, she has a bigger one. I said to her, why do you have such a... Because it's cheaper. All right, okay. And that's the one that Steph goes to. So, and yet she does the Birmingham one, but then it's probably, go on, it probably pays her to do that one. I don't know, she's been in business for years. She doesn't need to... I guess she can just pick and choose. Yeah, she lives on the opposite side of the river to me, the River Tean in Stoke-in-Teenhead, I think it is. She lives. She's just on the other side. It's the posh side. Go on, Needle. You can do it. Yeah, it's really hard going through those, but you've got quite a few layers of fabric doing those hexies that way, I suppose. It could be why Anne did them the other way, but when I saw her struggling to get her paper out, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that. It didn't actually take me that long to make these, but I just didn't want this to go on forever. I'll just have to do that. Because my last one was an hour. That was slightly ridiculous, but you did get to see all of it, I suppose. All you missed was me making the little hexies. See my slightly dodgy stitching? It's not brilliant. I really need to get that thread. I really can't remember the name of it. But I seem to remember I sort of looked at the price and I was like, really going to have to do lots of those to justify spending something ridiculous. I think it was something like £6 or £8 a reel. I can't remember. Check out Emma. She'll guide you. Ooh. Oh, that'll be fine. I've no doubt Rachel will do something absolutely amazing. Take that off for a minute. I might fasten off there. We'll get some purple going, I think, and then we'll maybe do pink the other side. we've been going. I don't know whether to pause you, do some and then bring you back. And I'm almost done, but I know some people really like to. Well, Chris's cat loves to sit and watch me doing stuff anyway, so I'll keep going just for Chris's cat. That picture, Chris, if you're watching, that was hilarious. She sent me a photograph of her cat watching me on the tablet. When I saw it, I absolutely roared. I thought that was hilarious. And I know Misty likes me too. I am the cat whisperer, apparently. So, oh dear, that was funny, Chris. I can't remember the name of your cat. You'll have to remind me. Instead, I know you have told me. I'd have to look back through a load of videos though. So, yeah, you'll have to. And then there's Misty. See, and I lucky. I got something cute, something to me name, Cat Whisperer. It's making me chuckle just thinking about her cat sat there watching me. I think she's waiting to hear from Mackie in the background, I reckon. Oh, talk of the devil. Oh, she's asleep still. She just sneezed. This isn't terribly neat, guys, sorry. But I'm struggling with that. Going through all that fabric. It's hard work. Oh. These needles are lovely and long, but I might change it just to an ordinary one actually, because it's not exactly playing to my advantage having a long needle. It'd be alright here where there's, you know, no other fabrics, but I'll keep going for a bit. Truth. I got this thing because I used to get such sore fingers where I was pushing, even just doing ordinary sewing. I use my, I think it's this one that really gets it. I use that to push the needle through, and it was starting to get a problem actually. So I sort of looked around and saw this, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go. It was only like £2. It wasn't expensive at all. So, but I can't remember what they call them, but it was definitely by Prym. Prym. Oh, ow, nearly. Go on. Struth. Does not want to go through sometimes. But it is only where I've done the folds, so it'll teach me. You can hardly see the lilac-y one, but that's kind of the idea. I think it's meant to blend. All the patchwork is meant to blend, I think. Everything is meant to blend. I I'm looking at those reels, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to put those as a giveaway. Because it wouldn't be fair. Because I know a lot of my subscribers are in the States, and that is going to cost a lot to send, and I'm a bit brassic this month, so a bit hard up. You don't know what brassic means, because having to do the exhaust on the car, etc., and it's due its MOT soon. Oh, God, cars, can't live without them. They're not in this part of the world anyway. Yeah, so it probably cost me about £6 to send that, if not more. It's not the, it might be the weight as well, but it's the width. I think you guys have got it in the States as well, where you have to go within 25 millimeters or an inch. It can't be any wider than that, otherwise it then goes up to a parcel. So maybe I'll have to scrap that idea. I don't know. Or we don't know. Oh, blimey. Go through. Oh, I'm going to take that off for a second. That's the trouble. I can't stand anything on my fingers when I'm sewing. So I'll just do one at a time through the thick bits. She says doing two. Right, well, there we go. That's pink now, I think. And you'll be able to go soon. Lucky little things, you. I need to go and wash that glue off my fingers. It's so good, that pen thing, though. I just can't even tell you how amazingly useful it is. Sticks fabric beautifully. I got it because I was watching, I don't know, somebody, and they were using it to hold a zip in as they, you know, ready for stitching. And I thought, that's a really good idea, because, you know, sometimes if you're trying to get a zip in an awkward place, it doesn't want to always go properly. So you can use that to stick the zip in. I think it was when I first did my vinyl fronted bags I got it. I don't use it now because I just, you know, I've got it sussed, but yeah, it's good stuff anyway. I'll leave it there so that you can read the Bowen. I think we all know Bowen, don't we? They do needles, they do all sorts. Oh, it'd be so nice if that West Point show's on. Oh, exciting. Oh, come on, go through. No, don't not. Thank you. Nearly there, guys, nearly there. A couple more rows. Why am I going so small? What are you doing? celebrating the fact that I'm nearly past the hexagons, which means I can whiz up. Hoping to get time to do some gel printing tomorrow. I haven't done any for ages and I'm really feeling the need. So watch out. Although it's Journal to Inspire today, isn't it? Gosh. Quickly watch that one. I didn't do last week's because it was make your own gesso and I've got tubs and tubs of gesso and I thought I really don't need to make any. I don't like missing a prompt, but I just didn't need to. So I didn't. I like the idea of the colouring it though, and I will use that in some other project, but right, I think I'll just squeeze one more row on there and then call that a day. And I'll give you a close. Well, actually, I'll stitch it on first and on the card, and then I'll give you a close up. And then you can go and have a cup of tea. I think you've deserved it if you sat through this. Well done. I was going to do the top, wasn't I? Maybe I will just do, if you can stay with me for 2 more minutes. Let me just trim that back actually because it's sticking out beyond the fabric. And I don't really want that. This needle was a bit overkill to do this. Just want to stop that fraying, basically. Oh, come on. This collection of tags is going to be enormous, isn't it, when it's done? 52 of them. I mean, we're only at week 18 and it's filling that little pot already. I still can't think of anything to... It might just be a, I don't know, a box or something, I suppose. It'd be interesting to see what Anne's going to do with hers. You know, what we're going to keep them in. I don't know, I suppose you could put them up like a bunting, I suppose. All around your craft room. Why not? Right, you've gone incredibly whirly. Right, sorry peeps, I'm keeping you, and this isn't even the stitch that we came here to do. Let me just whip up here. Has anybody heard anybody else saying what they're going to do with them? I think Gail's not sticking hers down because she's going to use them in another project or something. I don't That's what we'll find out at the end of the year. That'll do. Don't you dare knot on the last bit. Yeah, look at that. Naughty. Right. So I'll try and stop that one falling over. Stay. Right. Oogie doogie. Let's get this stitched on and then you guys can go. Whoa. Right. Let's thread that back on. Let's get a normal size needle because that one is enormous, isn't it? I'm going to stitch it on with this, I think, as it's here. Oh no, actually no, I think I'll just use cotton. Kind of goes quicker with cotton. And then I will give you a close up. Like I say, you can be on your little merry way then. It wasn't too bad actually. I'm glad I did the bits first because I think it would have gone on a bit otherwise. Not that it hasn't already. I went through the same hole that I'd ever. There we are. Come across a bit there. There we are. Hope I've stayed in screen better this time. Yeah, see, I'm getting a right saw right there. Doesn't quite go up high enough. Okay, I'll have to think of something else. I know they do leather ones, but I don't know. I don't even know how I'll get on with that actually. As I say, I just don't like things on my fingers. I don't wear rings and stuff like that. They just irritate me. Jewelry irritates me. Sometimes wear earrings, but no necklaces. I've got lovely jewelry because I used to make it all, but yeah, I'm blooming odd. Right, well that just didn't happen, did it? Right. Oh dear lordy. Okay, there you go. Alright, so yeah, the little mini hexies. Definitely the circle method was the, you know, that was just so easy. Lovely, like that. And even the dodgy stitching gets, stay still, the dodgy stitching in between, even that gets buried in amongst all the borrow stitching. I think I'll put an eyelet in again actually. I found the one that I lost last time. Yeah, because I didn't stick the top, did I? Right, hold on. Let me just get the old crocodile. There, I hope you liked that, my dears. Still on the diddy one. Let's change it to the big one. That's one of the more intense ones, I suppose, that we've done. Some weeks it's really easy and, you know, you just sort of fly through it. But that one was like, oh, I'm going to have to pre-do quite a bit, I think. And I'm glad I did, because otherwise it would have been a very, very long video. Which I know some of you don't mind, but I just... yeah, I don't want you to get bored. Alright, there we are. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.